gonorrhea. Isn't awesome.
Gorror.
God he reigns. Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another review for the month of Gorror, and this is number 10. Finally, we got to number 10, and this time I am taking a look at the remake for Carrie. Last review, I looked at, of course, the 1976 version. Now I'm looking at the one starring Chloe Grace Moretz and Julianne Moore as Carrie and her mother. So, what did I think of the remake? So far, it's been split critic-wise. What did I think, though? What did I think? Let's talk about the story. The story for Carrie is pretty much exactly the same as the original, so really I don't need to explain it, but I'll do it anyway. The story here follows Carrie, played by Chloe Grace Moretz this time, who is a high school student that gets ridiculed and pretty much tortured by her peers all the time. And when she gets home, of course, she has her crazy religious mother, played by Julianne Moore this time, who pretty much, smacks her around, lectures her about God and stuff. She doesn't have a very good life. So she figures out real soon that she actually has these powers, the telekinesis, what was it called? Telekinesis, right? Yeah, where she can move things with her mind. So she learns really quickly that she can do this. She's very, very powerful. And later on, of course, she uses those when she goes to prom. She gets asked to prom, and of course, something bad happens. Everybody knows what it is. They showed it in the trailer for this movie, so it's not a big surprise. And she wreaks havoc. So that's the story. Don't really need to explain too much about it, but yeah, there you go. That's the story. Now the question is this remake good? And I have to say, I really enjoyed this remake, especially since I just saw the original pretty much not even 24 hours before I saw this one. I really did enjoy it, especially since, okay, they did a lot of shot-for-shot stuff where a lot of the scenes, a lot of the dialogue is pretty much the same, but they actually explore things that I really enjoyed that they did. Like, they showed more of Carrie's telekinesis powers, which in the original, they only showed like maybe 1 or 2 scenes where she actually used it before the prom. Here, they actually used it a lot more, which I actually dug. I also like that they explained some characters. I don't want to spoil it, but things that happened to characters, they explained a little bit more in this one, which I actually really enjoyed. Something else I liked in this film a little bit more than the original was that in the original they showed her getting ridiculed plenty. They showed people talking about her, writing stuff on the walls and stuff, people just insulting her. In this film they do it way more, which could be a negative for some people. For me, they did it enough where it wasn't too much where people are talking bad about her and stuff. They did it enough for me to hate all the side characters, which you're supposed to hate most of them at least, and you want to see them get what's coming to them, of course. So they do it enough here. In the original, they did it enough too, don't get me wrong, just they didn't push it to the limit. Here they did, and it was just like, oh god, they talk about her so much here, and that's why I actually started liking the Carrie in this Carrie more than the Carrie in the older Carrie. Wrap your brain around that. So yeah, I also like that about this film a little bit more. The movie is very well paced. It's only about 90 minutes long. It's well shot. The direction is great here. The cinematography is just perfect, just exactly as it should be. And also, when it actually starts to get into some of the special effects and the telekinesis and, things getting lifted up and thrown around, it looks pretty good for a very small budgeted film. I think this is like, what, $25 million? Not bad. This, special effects are pretty good. But my main problem with the movie in general is the acting. Now, Chloe Grace Moretz and Julianne Moore do a great job of portraying, of course, Carrie and her mother, especially Julianne Moore, who's freaking fantastic in this. But the supporting cast, for the most part, is not very good. I mean, most of the characters who, the ones that play the John Travolta character and the mean girl, the main bully of the school, I can't remember their names. The character names are eluding me, and the actors' names too, but most of them are not very good here, unlike the original movie where the supporting cast was really good. Here, most of them just do a bland job, and sadly you get more scenes of them talking without Carrie or, of course, their mother in the scene. But I mean, her mother in the scene. So you get to see more of them, and of course the acting's not that great, and the dialogue isn't great enough for you to care. So whenever it's just them, the side characters, it's not that great, to be honest. But everything else, it's really good. I thought so, at least. It was very enjoyable. I didn't hate it. I didn't at all. I actually really enjoyed it, which was surprising. It's not as good as the original, but I still very much enjoyed this Chloe Grace Moretz remake. There you go. There's my review. I'm going to give it a 32 out of a 40. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and goodbye.